You're listening to Shoe In, covering the ins and outs of all things footwear, from sneakers to heels, loafers to slippers, and every type of shoe in between. Brought to you by the FDRA, the Footwear Industries Association focused on retail, trade, politics, and fashion, helping create and enhance conversations on all things footwear. And now your footwear insiders, Matt Priest and Andy Holt.
Hey, Matt.
Andy, what's up, brother?
How are you?
I'm doing great, man.
Awesome. Jasmine.
Yes.
She loves the music.
She loves
She's
it.
like bobbing her head. Still,
She's
after all these
tuning out.
episodes.
Yeah, it hasn't gotten old for me.
I hear it in my nightmares, right? So.
Oh, no.
Oh, my gosh.
Folks, we are at FN Platform out in Vegas.
Yep.
We take a range of these episodes. As people come by our booth, we have a little hook. We pull them right in, sit them down,
Exactly.
and then grill them.
Basically.
Just like fish.
Incessantly. Grill them like fish.
Yeah. Matt, you're a huge fan of Batman. You love Batman.
I do.
You don't know where this is going, but I'll
I
tee it
have
up.
no idea.
Right.
No idea.
Riddle me this.
Okay.
Your shoes have been made in factory. They're transiting across the ocean. They get hit. They hit the port.
Yeah.
You clear customs. You get them in your warehouse, and then there's a problem.
Uh-huh.
So who do you call?
You call Ghostbusters?
Maybe.
Holy shoes, Batman.
That's
You
right.
gotta call quality corrections.
That's right. There's a whole cottage industry that a lot of people out there are not aware of.
Yep.
But there are service providers that can help you fix the problems with your shoes as you import them in.
That's
So
right.
many people out there will import shoes, have a problem, and either trash them, get rid of them for some reason.
Yep.
Instead of putting a little money into it and get it corrected.
That's right.
And then putting it back on the shelf.
It's not hard, people. Come on.
Yeah, exactly. So when you do have those problems, there's one company that you can call. It's Quality Corrections and Inspections. They have a facility on the East Coast and on the West Coast. Service a lot of brands.
Yep.
It's big brands, small brands. It doesn't matter. The big guys have problems too, like everybody else.
Yep.
But we have a special guest today from Quality Corrections and Inspections to talk a bit about their business and what they do for
He
brands.
literally was walking by and whistling, minding his own business, and said hook.
He got
came out. Michael Levinson, welcome to the program, my friend. How are you?
Thank you, gentlemen. I'm really well. Thank you.
Good.
Awesome.
Good. So, as we think through quality corrections and what you guys do, give us the quick snippet, and from there we'll go in and dive into some of the issues that you guys are seeing for footwear in particular. But tell us about quality corrections so that our listeners have an understanding of who you are.
Well, Quality Corrections started in 1986. The founder of the company, Ron Burke, was a shoe dog.
Yeah.
He ran footwear manufacturing facilities in Pennsylvania for many years.
Okay.
And in the early 80s, he watched this company go from being a manufacturer to an importer.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's where he saw the opportunity. And in 1986, started the company in Pennsylvania.
Cool.
And 13 years ago, his son, Randy Burke, moved out to Las Vegas, to Henderson,
Yeah.
which is just a suburb here, and opened a facility on the West Coast because we saw the tremendous amount of imports coming into Long Beach.
That's right.
Yep.
So we
70%, I think, of
Yeah.
footwear comes in there.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we wanted to be available on both coasts,
Right.
to serve our customers.
So what's your facility look like then? Does it look like a large warehouse facility? I mean, what does it look like?
Yeah, it's a large warehouse facility that is set up for flex manufacturing.
Okay.
Meaning, if you came to our factory today, we have probably 6 different projects going. And so all of the workspaces, everything is linear and flexible.
Okay.
And we can add and we can subtract. And then we have large warehousing capabilities as well. Racks of stuff coming in, racks of stuff coming out.
Yeah.
We do a lot of high volume stuff.
That's interesting. And so how many people help you do that here in your facility just outside Las Vegas?
It flexes along with the work.
Yeah.
But we've got anywhere from between 100 and 150 people
Gotcha.
in the facility at any given time.
Okay. And so before we get to trends, what are some of the skills that these folks have?
Well, I would say our bread and butter is the word nobody wants to use, and that's mold.
Yeah.
Mold is our number one service category.
That's all right.
Moldy shoes, Batman.
You know, and over the past year, it's been interesting that it's, you know, we think of leather traditionally with mold, but it's gone to sneakers as well.
Absolutely.
I mean,
we do a lot of work in canvas shoes.
Yeah.
We're seeing more and more in the knitted category.
Yeah.
But that's really our primary bread and butter.
Okay.
And we provide a service that just doesn't clean, but actually
like treats.
Mitigates.
Yeah, so that it doesn't come back. And we do not only the shoes, we do the complete packaging. So when stuff comes in, all of that paper goes out.
Right.
The boxes are generally we're able to keep and clean, and then the factory sends us new paper. And so when it leaves our factory, it is store ready new.
Okay.
There is not a brand who wants you to know that those shoes were once moldy.
That's true.
Shh, don't tell anybody.
Don't tell anybody.
Unless their brand name is Moldy Shoes. And that's
right.
That's their branding, bread and butter. Now you clean that up, you got problems.
Yeah, exactly.
Will you add mold to product? That's what I want. That's hilarious. Now, when you think about some of the bigger trends that you see, okay, mold's an issue. Are there other things out there? One of the things that we try to do as an organization is try to stay on top of these things, because we'll get calls, we'll get emails from our members saying, hey, we're dealing with this issue or that issue. Have you heard about this? And one of the things we are launching is a kind of a quality control, quality blog within the Footwear Intel Center on our website, so that people can be sharing best practices. And we'll be sure to post up some of the good work of quality corrections there. But what are some of the things that you're really seeing right now that outside of mold that people might not be aware of?
Well, two things. On the leather side, I'd like to touch on what's happening with all the computerization of sourcing.
Yeah.
Where databases are being put together of fabrics and colors and and we often will get a container of shoes that were supposed to be one color based on the computer,
right?
And it's another color completely when we get the actual factory sample.
Interesting.
And so we're still doing a lot of retoning, reburnishing.
Really?
On the leather side.
Wow.
Absolutely. Absolutely. For large vendors.
Yeah.
The boot was supposed to be this color and it came in that color.
Right.
And we bring it in and we recolor it.
Interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. And we have all of that capability in both of our facilities.
That's really cool. Now, where's your East Coast? Is it still in Pennsylvania?
Duncansville, Pennsylvania.
Where is that near?
That is near Penn State.
Oh, okay.
Actually, close to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Happy Valley is that?
Happy Valley.
Happy Valley.
Yeah.
Is that the stadium?
I think so. Something like
We're
that.
going to get hate mail
I
from
don't know.
Penn State grads.
That's all right. They've been getting a lot of hate mail themselves, so they can deal with it.
Snap.
On the knit side,
Yeah.
this new category that we're seeing so strong, we're seeing a lot of invisible ink.
Okay.
What?
Factories are using pens to show the machine operators where to sew, and where to glue, and what goes where. Now, the concept of these pens is that it's invisible ink; it goes away.
Right.
What we're seeing this season is that in cold climates, it's coming back.
So it's temperature-based response.
Right.
Okay.
Now, the vendor in abroad will say, just steam it out. It'll steam out.
Right.
Theoretically, that's true, but that is not what's happening on the ground.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That sounds like a temporary fix because you get it home and then it gets cold again
Yes.
in the teens, and all of a sudden you got some hypercolor coming up on your shoes that you
Exactly.
didn't expect.
Right. Right.
Yes. So we've
I'll just assume when my children start marking on my shoes. That
that was probably your first guess.
That's right.
Hey, Timmy.
There's no Timmys in my house. I've got all daughters.
So we've developed a process whereby we chemically process the ink out.
You don't take them into a steam room at the spa?
No.
No, that would be a nice thing.
That would be nice.
Gotta suggest that. And so we're seeing a lot of work in footwear and apparel.
Interesting.
For both
sides.
of those.
Yeah, both sides.
Now, is that something, because we've heard this is something we've actually heard of as well. Is that something that now you think the factories will respond in a way that corrects it pretty quickly, or do you think this is like here to stay and people are going to be?
You've come to a real core issue for quality corrections in trying to grow our company.
Right. Eradicating problems.
Yes, is that quality assurance, quality control wants to solve these problems at the factory level, understandably.
Yeah.
So we like to say that we're the 1% company. 2.5 billion pairs of shoes imported into the States. We're the 1% company.
Right.
And there's always going to be that 1%.
Right.
Right.
We do a lot of component hardware changes as well on shoes.
Like eyelets.
Eyelets and relacing.
Right.
Buckles.
And sometimes it's just as simple as a problem has come in and it's not fixable, but you don't want to trash the entire PO.
Right.
So you can bring it into our facility and we'll at least sort out for you what's good from what's bad.
Gotcha.
Rather than shipping the entire thing back to the country of origin.
Yeah.
And I assume you'll do, if someone they brought something in for a retail customer and the retail customer's like, nope, don't want it. Can you kind of send their stuff to you to take off logos or other things to recast it as a different product to sell on a different channel? Does that make sense?
Yes, we definitely do that. We do that more on the apparel side than on the footwear side.
Okay.
Footwear is hard to rebrand, especially if there's something embedded into the sole.
Right.
But absolutely that's done.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a heat transfer.
Gotcha.
Because we can relabel stuff with a heat transfer, rebox it, and get it back out.
That makes sense. Huh.
How do you? How can companies approach you and know? No one wants someone else to know that their shoes are moldy or they have a quality issue. So do you guys sign like NDAs and you segment your factory if something's coming in and make sure
Absolutely.
people aren't seeing what's happening and you get it in and out and there's no worries on that end, right?
Absolutely. First of all, confidentiality is one of the core values of my company, and it has to be.
Yeah.
We give very few and far between factory tours,
right?
For that reason specifically. But it's a double-edged sword because on the one hand, I want a vendor to come in and see that we have the capability that we're talking about.
Right.
I can't tell you how many times our business comes from a secondary source after another company has promised, we can do 100,000 pairs, and they get 10,000 pairs in. And
what
realize,
have we done?
Yeah, we can't turn this.
Right.
So it's hard because on the one hand, I want to show these vendors that we have the capacity to do high volumes.
Right.
On the other hand, confidentiality is a big thing.
Yeah. Sure.
I can't have company A come in and see that I'm working on company B's shoes.
Yeah. That's no good.
No bueno.
Good. No bueno.
No,
it's another good brand. Moldy Shoes and Bueno Footwear.
What happened to barbecue shoes? That's what I know. Anyone barbecue shoes or you eat, or they slop.
They're sustainable.
So they're sustainable. So
yeah,
you eat the
it's really
shoes.
sustainable. Yeah, it's full cycle, holistic approach.
That's right.
It's not for vegans, but we'll figure that out down the road.
Not at all. Well,
we just got to get this thing launched.
Yeah, well, they make like meat that isn't meat, so you can do like a vegan route. Or like kale shoes or something.
Nah.
No?
I'm sorry. The vegans it's just not my brand. I got a target market and I got to stick with me. You know? Like I got to stay true to who I am.
That's true.
Being from North Carolina.
That's true. Well, if you had the barbecue shoes and for some reason you came in and you had the wrong sauce on it or the wrong type of barbecue, you could send it to quality corrections.
Well, typically I need sauce added to it, right? Because it would dry out on the way over.
Right. So. We need to add heat.
Yeah, that's right.
We never take heat away.
Well, you can add some vinegar sauce. And
it depends on what you want.
I don't know why we're going down this road, but it's fun, isn't it?
What else, Michael? What else can you tell us about any kind of trends you're seeing or any kind of insights? Let's say someone's listening right now and they're like, gosh, I do have a problem and I need to get in contact with you guys. They just pick up the phone, tell you what the problem is, tell you where the product is, and you take them from there?
Absolutely. You can go to www.qualitycorrections.com. We have a free analysis page. We generally ask for samples,
right?
Because pictures do not often tell the full story.
Mm-hmm.
But we will process those samples for free and give you a price quote well before you have to make a commitment.
Okay,
that's cool.
Okay, and these people in the factory, they're wearing gloves when they're handling the mold, right?
Gloves, masks, hazmat suits.
It's like CSR issues in your factory, and making sure everybody's safe.
They were all in like flip-flops and T-shirts, drinking margaritas, taking away the mold.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. So what else? Is there anything else we're missing? I mean, I feel like, for a lot of folks out there, you never want to have to call you guys.
Right.
But every now and again, product comes through. I mean, think about the whole process. You get your shoe made at the factory, and then it's going to sit on a boat.
Yep.
For many, many days in hot environments. Coming across, you're going to be in a warehouse environment. And sometimes people are trying to launch new products very quickly, and they may be working with a new factory partner that just doesn't get it right. So as you said, the color's off, the eyelet's not there, things are popping off. And that becomes not even a branding issue; it becomes a public safety issue, especially on kids' shoes and things like that.
That's right. You don't want things popping off your kids' shoes.
But you guys are also you'll be in a lot of events this year with FDRA, so people can meet you face to face, say hello.
Absolutely.
So at the Executive Summit that's coming up in May, and Sourcing Summit, you'll be in the Asia Summit. So folks out there who hear Michael's lovely voice can put his lovely face together.
It's a radio voice.
It is a radio voice.
You definitely have a radio voice. That's not always the case with our guests, nor is it with Andy or myself.
That's right. We just have faces for radio. That's
right.
All.
That's right.
Well, I appreciate your hooking me in.
That's right.
Awesome. Well, at this point, we'd like to flip it to Jasmine. Jasmine always does our Fashion Footwear and Focus segment.
What's up, Jasmine?
And Jasmine's going around the floor.
Mold is not in fashion.
That's right. It's not fashionable. So, Jasmine, what's going on?
I have just been enjoying all of the booths. Like I've said before, I've noticed like sneakers are really popular, but I feel like incorporating a lot of the mixed media. I've seen like a lot of leather and fly knit together, and that just seems to be like really what's popular. Like I feel like brands are going to slowly start going back to a more clean shoe. I was at the
Clean
Polo
shoes.
brand.
That's what we're talking about today. So that is in fashion.
Nice pun.
Well done.
Well played.
I was at one of the booths, and they were showing me all their other designs, but I could start to see that they had like a classic all white shoe that was very clean and seamless, and I think I'll start to see more brands doing that more. So I think mixed media is definitely something that I can say is across the board, just like I can say the same with sneakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mixed media. I like it. I like that phrase.
Yeah.
So when you think about this, Michael, as Jasmine points out, there's kind of all these new materials coming on board. You mentioned knits. When you look at knit imports, their way up. You couple that with leather. You got a lot of components. You have a lot of potential for quality correction.
Oh, absolutely. And
being needed.
if a clean look is what's coming in, then it's harder to hide the kind of defects.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All these white shoes, sneakers people are wearing.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great
that's
point.
super popular too. Like a white sneaker is more and more. I mean, you have your classic, Air Force Ones that people buy every year and things like that, but they're starting to become more and more shoes that you can buy and are all white, and they're good for a lot of events and things like that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Sweet. Well said, Jasmine.
Thanks.
And that is a good point, because as the material's starting to mix more and more, there'll be more of those
More
problems that
issues.
come up in ways we don't even anticipate.
That's right. And that's
So it's
what
good to know-
Michael's here for.
It's good to know that there's a safety net to help us out. You don't have to trash your shoes.
You don't.
You don't have to ship them back.
No.
You can fix them.
That's right.
If you want your shoes, you can keep them.
Thank you, gentlemen.
From Batman to
I
Obama.
know.
This has been one wild ride.
Michael, thank you very much.
Thank
Again,
you, Michael.
tell everybody the website address.
QualityCorrections.com.
QualityCorrections.com. Check them out, folks. And again, Michael and Randy will be around at our events this year, and you can say hello, shake their hands, and learn more about what they're doing to help our industry. Thank you very much, Michael. And everybody, thank you very much for listening. You can follow us on Instagram. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. You can check us out on our own website, shoeandshow.com. Take a look at the guest list. It's amazing.
Totally amazing.
Everybody has some great, wonderful insights about what's happening in our industry in different segments. So if you're wanting to learn more about the industry, if you work for it or you don't, and you're just loving shoes, we're trying to figure out and trying to help explain what's happening to our industry on the back end.
That's right.
All the way from the folks making the shoes to correcting the shoes to selling the shoes. So thank you very much for listening. And again, please rate us. Please rate the podcast.
5 stars only, my friends.
And
5
also,
stars only.
just a heads up for our loyal listeners, we are trying to figure out how we launch on YouTube.
Yep.
And those will be coming out soon, where we actually you'll see some video of us doing this. So
Yep.
be on the lookout for that as well. Until next time, for Matt, for Jasmine, for Michael, this is Andy, and Shoe-In is out.
Shoe-In has been brought to you by the FDRA, the Footwear Industries Association focused on retail, trade, politics, and fashion, helping create and enhance conversations on all things footwear. For information about FDRA, visit fdra.org.